Hey, what's up everybody? It's your boy Kendall Rodriguez here, and today I want to talk to you guys about the interview. Alright, so I want to talk to you specifically about what questions to ask and what helps me during the process of when I'm working and I'm interviewing people for whatever subject matter that I have to interview them for. And if you're new to this channel, hit that subscribe button and definitely hit that like button if you happen to like this video at the end. So the main goal of interviews is to develop that third person narrative so that it puts you right in the seat of the person and listening to their accounts of very specific events. And what I mean by narrative is that what they're talking about are related to very specific events of what happened to them, whether it's in the past, the present, of what they're going to talk about, or what's happening in the future. This account allows the story to move forward and give you some information, some tidbits about what's happening and what's going on. And it provides a very honest outlook to the entire story as a whole. So interviews should flow like a conversation. They shouldn't flow like a job interview. So if you ever been asked yes or no questions, like you don't want to ask a person, well, how old are you? Where do you live? Where are your family from? You know, those sort of questions just elicit one-word responses of very short answers that don't allow the person being interviewed to develop a very thoughtful and intelligent response. And that's what we're looking for. That is our goal, is to actually have that person develop a very intelligent and very thought out response. So it is a good idea to ask open-ended questions so that you get thoughtful and really articulate responses from the person that you're interviewing. It just helps to move along the piece just a little bit quicker and very to the point. And you want everything to get right to the point. So here are two examples of interview questions that I've asked in the real world. And so I interviewed a barber, and I gave the barber about a day or so to help formulate their responses so that they're more comfortable with giving answers, and so that it's a little bit more natural, and so that they're not stumbling over it and they're not surprised by the questions that I'm asking. Because I want everything to go smoothly, and that because this is a more or less a commercial job, I want this to go smoothly. I don't want to waste anyone's time. I want to make sure that they get the questions and that they're able to actually formulate their responses, because people aren't used to being on camera, so you want to make them feel as comfortable as possible. And these are one of the things that you can do to actually help to speed along the process. So I asked, when did you know that you wanted to become a barber? And she offered this response.
I knew when I was sitting at my 9-to-5 and I was like, I can't keep doing this. You know, I want to be my own boss. I want to make my own money on my own time. And barbering is one of the professions where where it's not going anywhere. You know, in order to get a good cut, you need a cut from an actual human.
This was a great response. She opened up about how she had a 9-to-5 job and how she left it and decided this wasn't the career path for her. So she decided to go on to a different career path, and that was really great. It was quick, it was to the point, and she was very comfortable and she was very articulate about it. So now we go into a situation where the subject has absolutely no time to prepare, and this subject that we're talking to is a chief physician at a hospital, and he's talking to us about the second wave of the coronavirus and what his hospital is going to do to mitigate the impact and what statistics that they're looking at. And this was the response that he provided.
So we're probably still seeing an effect of the initial wave as it branches out throughout the country, and there's different levels or hot zones, or I like to call them little brush fires that pop up. It's hard to say. A lot of times when you hear wave, what you're really defining is the overall amplitude. So the size of that wave, the total number of cases over a time period. And back in March into April in New York State, and especially Long Island, we had a very high initial wave because we had a very high number of cases that peaked in a short period of time.
He clearly knows what he's talking about. He's an expert in his field, and this is what he does every single day. So it's gonna be no problem for him to answer the questions that I'm asking him. His response was well-informed and well thought out, and it was clear and to the point, and that's exactly what we need. So it's really important also to keep your questions short and not lengthy. You want to make sure that when the person is formulating their answers to the questions, they're not stumbling over their responses, and that's the last thing you want them to do, is to already make them feel uncomfortable doing something that they're not used to doing every single day. And also you want to allow the person that you're speaking to give them time to breathe. Let the tape breathe for a little bit. So after they respond to your question, pause just a little bit, allow them to breathe and gather, allow them to gather their thoughts, and prepare yourself also for the next question. And this is also really helpful when you're editing, because it gives you some, that 2 to 3 seconds worth of room, that 2 to 3 seconds worth of dead space actually is really helpful for when you're cutting. The most crucial point about this is that open-ended questions are the key to interviews. You have to ask who, you have to ask when, you have to ask why, and you have to ask how. And out of those 5, asking why and how something happened and how people are going to react to something, or how someone feels about being in a particular situation, or you're able to elicit really, really thoughtful responses from them, and they're quick and to the point. And sometimes they might even give you more than what you thought of. And it's always really a good idea, especially when you close out your interviews, to always ask them, do you have anything else to add? 9 times out of 10, usually people will say, oh, as a matter of fact, this actually happened, or I just want to say, and they'll probably give you something that's like way beyond what you expected. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. And if you like this type of video where I explain and give you more or less a tutorial about how to conduct interviews, leave a comment down below. Let me know if you like this video. Let me know if you like this lighting setup. I mean, what do you think? Hit that subscribe button. Definitely hit the like button. I really would appreciate it if you give it a thumbs up. And I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks so much for watching. This is your boy K-Rod, and I'm out.